Excited is an understatement as I'm getting ready to share with you about one of my favorite goal setting products today. It's the PowerSheets from Cultivate What Matters. You are going to want to listen through the end because I'm dropping something so special and so fun that I've never done before. So the PowerSheets, they were created by Laura Casey. They are sold through Cultivate What Matters. You're going to want to check out my episode with Laura. I got to interview her a few months back. It is maybe my favorite podcast episode, or if not that, one of the top three. So if you want a supercharged dose of encouragement, go listen to that. I'll link it in the show notes. Personally, I dub her the Michael Jordan of goal setting. She is brilliant. She loves Jesus. It's a great listen. So you're going to want to listen to the end too, because I'm going to share with you a code in addition to a fun surprise. So you guys, I came across the Cultivate What Matters company back in, I think 2015 probably. I was just so intrigued to find a company whose purpose was about living intentionally and who cared about incorporating God into goal setting. Like it literally blew my mind and honestly ended up changing my life and now so many people around me. It just sparked something inside of me. And I'm just so thankful to be able to pour that back out through grace-based Christian coaching. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Alexandra Cowell. I am a certified Christian life and business coach for women in leadership. They want to release limiting beliefs and overwhelm so that they can live a more intentional and Christ-centered life. So I have had a handful of PowerSheets notebooks throughout the years. I'll show you guys a couple. This is one. This is the most gorgeous blue. I've even had a like confetti type one before. Just cannot get enough. Most oftentimes I use them to kick off the year. To be honest, that's how it looked for a long time. But lately have been doing a much better job of tending to them, using them as they are intended throughout the course of the year. And in those times where I do that, like it shows. So as someone who's obsessed with focusing on the future, like I know it can be difficult to diligently reflect back. But the years that I do that, those are the years that are most fruitful, hands down, personally and professionally. And if you're like, wow, like go you, but that's not me. Like consider coaching. The added layer of working and the accountability that you get with a certified coach and a faith-based one at that, it is so impactful and so effective. And that's why many clients continue on with me for years after their initial package. My average client, we've been together for 4+ years now, which blows my mind. I think the longest one, she and I are going on over 7 years together. It's so special. There are no tools out there that are quite like it. So if that sounds like something you might like, go to gracebased christian coaching.com, take a pause, read it on our coaching tab, what you can expect, and maybe if you feel led, go ahead and apply for a clarity call. Okay, so let's dig in. With all that to say, the version of the Power Sheets that I'm going to walk you through isn't the absolute latest and greatest, but for the most part, the core is the same. There are a few other exercises, you guys, that I use alongside my Power Sheets. One being year-end reflection questions, and one's to launch into the new year. And I'm considering actually creating a suite of courses with those topics being included. So let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube if you'd like that. But today, we're going to focus on Power Sheets, okay? So the version that I use starts by digging into what are you letting go of? So there are three categories within that section. What is stressing you out? What fears do you have? And I am hopeful that. So let's break it down, you guys. What's stressing me out? So creating a space to lay your worries at his feet is biblical. I personally took it one step further this past month and just had Jesus speak to it. So, for example, a repeated topic I literally wrote word for word in back-to-back months is there's so much to do with so little time. So, what Jesus spoke to me in that was that you're walking through these challenges to solidify your habits. Like, be encouraged in that. I am elevating you. And just think about the hard stuff, whether it be using the Power Sheets or just taking some discipline and time to set aside with him and have him speak into that hard space for you. And you might be surprised and delighted and just so comforted by what he shares and how he shares it. Okay, the next section, fears that I have. So naming your fears shines light on the darkness and helps to stop the spinning. It empowers you to take action on what you might be able to influence about a very difficult situation. So, for example, an actual one that I'm facing right now is a fear of not securing a VA for yet another month. It is hard to find good people. And so instead of saying stuck in that fear or, have just lies or negativity spoken over that, I just use that as my nudge to go ahead and make some calls, take some action, right? Like lean in instead of leaning back and just feeling stressed out about it. So that was one. Another, I'm hopeful that. So I kind of almost see this section as a prayer request. And overall, I get it. Like, it can be tempting to skip over this piece, but don't do it. There is so much fruit in there. All right, the next one, preparing well. So on my calendar is one piece. I kind of like to see the highlights all in one place. You guys, almost feels like therapy for my brain. It is just so relaxing and so beautiful to have that out there in that way. Another section in the prepare well is important to do's. So it's similar to what is on my calendar, but I kind of see it as like based on that activity, what will be mission critical. So kind of elevating it, highlight it to a next level. And then the next one, it's I'm excited for. So I love this section. It's like a dopamine deposit, I'll call it. Definitely take a second to look in your month ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, and I don't know that we talked about this. The way it's broken down, these are completed once a month, and then they'll do a quarterly review. And then there's a brain, kind of like a brainstream section next, a brain dump. You get to circle what's most important, schedule it in your calendar. I personally call it calendarizing your to-do list. I skip over this section. I have a doc that outlines my year, like I call it, personal, my name, 2025, GSCC 2025. Um, and make sure everything that I've got on my list is connected to this bigger picture, project, desires, vision, and regularly make sure what I'm spending my time doing is actually in the direction that I'd like to head. Okay, next is my favorite, the tending list. Now, this is gold. One section you start at the top, it's encouraging words. So, scripture, affirmation, a prayer, your word of the year, these are all things I personally would recommend including in that section. The next one is a section for top priorities. So, I look back to what's on my calendar section of the previous page. And it's just a great thing for our brain to just call out what's top priority. We live in such a distracted, noisy world, and to have that at the top of your tending list is really, really nice. And I actually personally also like to use this as a data gathering section. So I write out, data that I'm regularly examining, like what are my client numbers? What are my subscriber numbers? Things like that. So I can track them and reflect on what's working and what's not. There's a section for monthly action items. So I create right now like new monthly action items and ongoing monthly action items. Again, all of this is already on my calendar, but it's such a favor for my brain to be able to see it in a one-stop shop. And it's so motivating to see it all laid out in that way too. There's a section for weekly action items and then daily action items and habits as well. And you guys, they also have notepads, habit trackers that you can buy and, have that for daily. I've got one right over here on my desk. But it's kind of nice to have it on your big picture sheet too. So actually, I love it in my attending list, but then it's also nice to have that notebook too and like rewrite it on there. And maybe like have one in different places of your house actually to remind you, like, what are the things that I'm supposed to be focused on and taking action on daily? Visual, friends, like, it's just so great to see in multiple capacities. I've been toying around with splitting my attending list, like half professional and half personal. And then also thinking about, do I want to color code too? Again, just a favor for your brain to break things down in different ways visually. And then I have all of this already on my calendar, which I had said But again, it's just like a gift and a motivator, really, to see it all in one place. So underline, just underline that in your brain. Like I think you might love this even more than you expect or anticipate. I know I certainly did. And then one of my business CFFs, she had shared something about how now she makes it a point to do as much of her work as possible in a notebook. Writing hard copy is just different. Like our brain works different. There's less distractions. And she uses a word like romanticize. Like it's almost like we're romanticizing what we're doing again when we just sit with a paper and pen, and just wanted to invite you into that idea too. Okay, next is month in review. This is awesome. Okay, one of my favorite sayings, I've said it and I'll say it again, is that reflection reaps reward. So there's a section I'm especially grateful for, a section someone I'm grateful for and why. There was an organization called She Works His Way, and they did something similar that I loved. It's like, who am I helping, supporting, championing, cheerleading this month? Right? Like serving others is just a benefit across the board. Like do it, do it, do it. What are your goals that are growing well, right? We want to shout these out. There's a section I'm choosing grace over guilt about. Yes to that. Like there's just so much freedom, and it's biblical, right? Like God offers us grace. Let's receive it, and receive it gracefully. Progress I'm celebrating section, list that out, even if it's small. Important to recognize, like develop a culture of celebration. Favorite memory from this month. And one of my adds actually to this section is, how am I planning to do more of this next month? Another one, a good lesson I learned. And one of my personal adds to this is, what am I going to do about that lesson that I learned next month? What am I saying no to next month? So valuable to draw a line in the sand, not only like what you are for, get behind that, but what you are not about to. And then what am I saying yes to this month? I get jazzed about that because that is exciting and fun. Like I said, there's a quarter interview section too. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but if you ever want to see more about that or have me talk more about that, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I've got a couple hot tips for you, and then as promised, I'll share some fun things here at the end. But I would say you guys keep your attending list out at all times. I have mine sitting right next to me at my desk. I love to look at it. Schedule monthly time to dig in, to reflect, complete all this information, and plan for the month ahead. It is going to be some of the most valuable time spent. It really will. And then schedule time, like even 2 minutes, you guys. It can be brief at the start of your week and or start of each morning to review this. Like get excited, get grounded, remember why all those items are on your to-do list. What is the big picture point of it? It's just like rocket fuel. It's so good. Do it with a friend. It's just more fun with friends. There's a lightness to it. There's a camaraderie to it. I went to a book signing recently, actually, and met the author, Christy Harvey, and we were chatting about our mutual friend, Megan Taylor. And she had said she met Megan at a Making Things Happen conference. I don't know if they still do these. Actually, I got to go to one back in 2019, which was so good. But she had met her there. And after that conference, Megan's business really took off, as did Christy's writing career. And I think that just shows the power of when you do things in community, like it creates change. You might have heard Grace-Based Christian Coaching. We have a small group, Faith and Work Mastermind. Fire, you guys. We are in one quarter of it. We may launch it again in the fall. So if that is something you're interested in, just send me an email, Alexandra at gracebaskedchristiancoaching.com, with the titles Mastermind, and let me know you want to be on the wait list, and I'll pop you in there. And then you may want to use your PowerSheets as a tool in one-on-one coaching, which we'll talk about in a moment. Okay, the good stuff, some more of the good stuff. Affiliate code. So if you are intrigued and you're like, I need to get my hands on these products, it's so good. And you do need to do it. And so head to cultivatewhatmatters.com/grace-based Christian coaching. So that will take you to their website. And then when you check out, put in code grace-based Christian coaching. And I believe that will get you 10% off. I'm going to include some links in the show notes too. There are a lot of great products on their website. And there are 2 blog posts that I found that they have created that just show, that support you in figuring out which version is best for you and which one to get. I'm going to put, like I'd mentioned, Laura, she is the brilliant brain behind all of this. If you want to know her more in the heart of who she is, I'm going to put my interview with her in the show notes links as well. And then the real fun and exciting piece, the bonus, is that whoever is the first gal to sign up for a coaching package with me next and mentions this post, my gift to you is to include a choice of your power sheets, whatever version you would like, in your coaching package as a celebration because adore this, love these resources, believe in them so much that I want to gift it to one of you. So that's my offer to you today. I hope this was so valuable, so fun, and is getting you so excited for what God has next for you. I can't wait to hear what you do with it, and I'll see you next time.